Welcome back. Welcome back to part 2. If you have not seen part 1, go watch
It'll be somewhere here.
Yeah.
I don't know where. We're still amateurs. It's been years, but we're still amateurs. So anywhere around the screen,
go check it
or
out.
link in the bio, whatever.
Booking the test itself.
Oh my god.
And just after that, tips and advice. But let's talk about booking that test and the revision because. What do they think? What do the GPHC think they're doing? I don't know if you guys who are probably doing their pre-reg now or in fourth year, you might have heard it, you might have seen it on Twitter. But when we were going, because I think they basically before they would use Pearson, right? And this year the GPHC decided to use some other people. I think they were called scheduler or something.
I don't know.
I can't remember their name. I can't remember their name. I should probably know because that was trauma. But they decided to use like a new person who would coordinate the exams and stuff. So there's obviously a specific time that they choose for you to book your exam. And weirdly, it was during the working day.
Yes.
Which was like, why are you doing this? People are not going to
out of your
work.
mind.
Why would you do this? So I was literally like, I had the work computer out because we have, the pharmacy team have laptops because you kind of have to be portable and stuff. So I was on the laptop. It was just crashing. Like I wasn't able to book anything. And for so many people, it crashed. Some people got to book. But most people didn't get the book. And it was quite annoying because people have their preferences for where they want to go, right? And you can literally see the numbers dwindling before your eyes, but you're not able to book anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It was so horrible. They had to shut it off.
Oh, yeah. I think I need to make it clear how bad it was because it took us 3 days, to book one test. Are you out of your mind? Like, what are you doing? Like the first day, I think they accidentally released the whole booking service a day early.
Yeah.
And so I remember, like, I was working and suddenly I'm getting, like, my phone blowing up. Guys, it's online. Go book your test. And I was like, oh my god. And I think luckily I was on my lunch break or something like that. So I saw it and then I managed to book exactly the place that I wanted. It was basically right near my workplace, so I was like, I can just easily make the journey there. I know how the journey is going to be. It's going to be fine. And then later that evening or the day after or something like that, they were just like, guys, no, we're cancelling everything.
Everyone that got a thing.
You must be joking. And then they officially released everything. And as she said, everything was just crashing. And mind you, working hours. I
spent 2 hours that morning, I think.
Which is 2 hours. I spent the whole of the afternoon. Can you believe? But yeah, like I was thinking, no. I have to keep refreshing. So I was in the consultation room that whole entire time. I was also processing prescriptions. Mind you, like, I was still doing some of it. But you know, like I was refreshing, and you just could not book, and things would just show up, and then you couldn't like go to the checkout or whatever it was. Like it wasn't there, but it was there. It was showing availability. It was showing seats, but it wasn't there.
It was so bad.
And then so the whole of the first day didn't book. Unsuccessful. Second day, still working hours, and I'm having to miss work. And I think when eventually we were able to book it, some people ended up getting like 3 bookings for the same place or something like that. And there was so much confusion. And they were telling people, I think before they released statements, for some reason, I don't know why their statements were always late on Twitter, but people started cancelling their positions. And then the GPHC would be like, don't cancel, it'll cancel everything. I was like, oh my god. This is a shipwreck.
No, because I actually cancelled one of them.
She cancelled.
I said, huh? What do you mean don't cancel?
Oh my
But I've never done it.
God.
What are you talking about?
Oh my god. And the place that I was at also was like a small venue, so it was only accommodating for like 11 people. And so I was like, oh my god, thank god.
No, it was unprofessional.
It was so unprofessional. I think their announcements, their apologies, everything was just not great.
It was so much.
Oh my god.
No, because for me, like, there was so many of us, right? Because you had a smaller venue. Mine was in Stratford. It was quite bigger, but it was so unprofessional because like there was sort of, it was just computers shoved onto a table. I said there was no space to do like any of your workings out. It looked unprofessional. You can't just. It needs to be an actual computer room. You can't just shove a couple of computers on a table and expect us to all shack together like that. That's not how it works. And then all around me, I could see people's computers just shutting down and not working. So I was just sat there in anxiety. Like, is my computer next? Is my computer just gonna like shut down? Because I don't want to redo this test. Where do we go from there?
Like, I know that so many people around the country are doing the test, so it's hard to find suitable venues to accommodate for everyone. But I just don't understand how you went from Pearson View to this.
Yeah.
Because especially for my venue too, I was at the London Bridge Fashion and Textiles Museum.
Please tell me if that sounds like an appropriate place for someone to sit at a professional exam.
Like, I was in this little kind of classroom, kind of IT room on their second floor. And the whole venue was open to the public.
So my coursework's there to my meeting.
So basically, my station, it was all alphabetical order, and obviously I'm always the first one. So I was right near the door. The door had a window, and people were outside talking, and people were peeping in as well. So I said, "Oh my god, this is not the day." Like, I just don't understand how for one day you can't close down the venue if you're catering to an exam.
Yeah.
This is not a school.
It's not
Like,
examination.
why is it open to the public? And especially
standards.
the whole fashion and textiles museum, I swear it's free. So you're not like making money from opening up to the public. I don't know. I don't think there's any ticketing. I think it's a free museum.
I don't know.
So what's the point in that?
That's not
I don't
examination.
And let me tell you, I had the worst experience. I was one of the few unfortunate people. Well, my test centre in general were the ones that were hit by the crash.
Technical
I don't know
difficulties.
what was going on. Like, how? That's the most important test of my life, and you're telling me I can't do it. I can't do my
technical
test.
difficulties. Are you crazy or what?
You need to sort yourselves out.
And bear in mind, this is a very expensive paid for exam. You got your own refund.
This was
but I didn't.
£280 or something to do the test. Or like almost
Expensive,
a £300 test. And you're telling me I can't do it today. So, the first part of the test was maths. Second part was in the afternoon after like a lunch break or whatnot. But maths, I started 1 hour late. We all started 1 hour late. It was
Ridiculous.
crazy.
Ridiculous.
The amount of times we had to reboot our computers. And then our invigilators would be calling up the main.
Are we software engineers though, or are we pharmacists? Which one? Which one?
Oh. So I started an hour late to my maths, and then they said that we'd still get the same amount of break time in between, but we did not. We got a break time, and then we started the clinical the same time as scheduled around the country, which was like, oh my god, you're out of your mind. I just finished maths, and it was agony. And mind you, I was shaking as well before that. Like, it was so weird. Like, all of a sudden, they're just like, as soon as your computer starts, you can start the test. And some people were still not starting their test. So, like, my computer came on, and it was like, now go. And I was right, just start calculating.
No, mate.
I
didn't like that part about the exam.
What is this nonsense?
It was too much.
So I made a complaint, and I think initially the first response from the GPHC was like, oh yeah, you can choose to nullify your test.
Which is like, why should I have to nullify my test because of your mistake?
Exactly. So it was just like, oh, you can nullify your test before you find out the result. So what if, I'm sitting there, I actually passed, and I nullify my test.
Do you know how much I want to the time that would be?
Honestly, I have to do the test all over again in November. You crazy? No. So I wasn't willing to do that. So I made my complaint. I made them aware of it. And I think I was going back and forth between whether I should nullify it or not. I was thinking, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to have to be doing the test in November regardless.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd be losing is money, more money. So I thought, let me just find out, pray and hope, and find out what I get at the end. So luckily in the end, I did pass my June exam. and they gave me a refund. So I think they changed their whole like thing that they said. They kept on like updating on Twitter. But yeah,
there was so much outrage.
Exactly. So they allowed people to, once they found out their results, to nullify and then be able to do the test in November without having to pay again. So that was good. Like, because I felt like they owed us at least that. Like, how can you be telling me, no, nullify your test before you find out your results and do it again? Like, I'm not going through that nightmare again. So bad.
Especially the build up to it was quite intense.
Build up was
just for
crazy.
that to happen.
I did not want to have to go through that whole intense period of depression and revising again for that test. Yeah. I think the November exam was a little bit more organised. There wasn't much technical difficulties.
There wasn't as much.
And I also heard, because one of my friends is doing her pre-reg this year, so I think what I heard from this year's group is that the GPHC actually gives you your place, your location for the test, which is good. Like, I don't understand why they didn't do that for us and they made like us book it, but they actually like look to where you are, your location, and they give you like your nearest test centre.
I think the last part is just a little quick-fire tips and advice. And by the way, if there's any other things that we don't mention, just like ask below, comment below. We'll be around, hopefully, to answer more questions. Or
let's talk about our revision process.
The tips for that. Because the thing is, listen, you'll hear so much hearsay about you start revision from January, you start revision from February, you start revision from December, you start making notes there, making notes now. Listen, everything.
To be honest, I would say that they are right for saying that, but that is idealistic. It's not reality. It's not reality.
It's not.
I think in an ideal world, I would have started in September. It was quite hard to keep up with the revision. So the once a month kind of pro pharma stays was mostly what I was doing for that entire month. And then they would set pre-work and stuff like that, pre-work, post-work.
I would say,
oh my God,
I was looking at it a bit more from March. I was looking around, you know, I was looking through things, gathering things, you know. It wasn't like deep, it wasn't heavy, but I was reading a bit more from March. But actual revision, May?
What, we did June? Yeah, May. Literally May. Because like,
remember when we sat at the end of June?
It's crazy. Don't take our advice.
Take everyone's advice that you hear with a pinch of salt and do your own thing.
Literally, do your own thing. Like, I think you can't just rely on somebody else telling you what to do. Whatever works for you, I think that's how it is. I think by God's grace, we survived by doing like 1 month, 2 months of revision.
Which I can't revise too early. That's just me. I'm not someone that can revise too early.
We want to be as truthful as possible. A lot of people that I asked, especially like a lot of older pre-reg people, pharmacists obviously now, but they would also say they would start from Feb. I think from January, because my tutor, he just told me to revise the BNF, which was, guys,
I
that's
didn't
not
even
the
read the
way.
BNF. I didn't touch the BNF.
If you want to read the BNF, go read the BNF.
I didn't touch that
but
BNF
I think
once. It gathered dust.
Literally, I think realistically, the BNF wasn't for me.
Too chunky, too small.
I didn't know what to take from it. I was just reading to read it. So I think from January, I read about 2 chapters fully and made notes, and that was it. I think I did cardio and respiratory, and that was it. And I said, no, there's no way I'm finishing this BNF before the exam. So I had to find alternatives, and who was there for us?
Pharm Educate!
So let's
big recommend.
Honestly guys, this is your kind of, if you want a shortcut, you know, this is your way to just revising everything quickly and you know, just getting the most out of your time.
Literally. It's short, it's snappy, it's colourful, like it tells you everything you need to know. You can make your notes on top of that already, but it gives you everything in like a note format already. So it's just very study friendly.
Honestly, and I think so these slides What they were like condensed notes of each and every chapter, and they were just beautifully color coded and highlighted, so you knew what was important, what was not, what you should be taking out from each and every one of them. So it was just a great resource. For us, we got like the free version, so people like, we were joined up to a lot of like group chats and stuff, and people would
join the group chat.
Literally join every group chat you can. Because one will give you something that the other doesn't, so you know, just be able to.
I collated all of mine to Google Drive.
Yeah, that's another good thing. Like, make a Google Drive of all your like resources, your revision material, because that will save you, so you know where to come back to. So our ones, we had the 2018 version. I know one of my friends invested in it, and you know, she was happy to invest in it. So if you want to invest in the latest material, you can do that. But I don't think the 2018 one was too outdated for us that we couldn't like, you know, revise from that. Still, majority of medicines are still the same since 2018, and majority of conditions are still the same. The only extra thing I'd say that was big for us was COVID. So I think like, if you want to look up on that side, you can use the BNF for that, and the main bulk foundation of every pharmacy law was in those slides. And then for me as well, I had Pro Pharmacists who did their own condensed slides as well. So I think there was like, how many sessions were there? There was probably like 8. Were there 8? I don't know.
I think so, about 8.
I think there was 8. I think there was 8 sessions. One every month, as I said, and I think the last 2 sessions they did their own tests, so they had a lot of like, they made a lot of their own tests, and that was amazing. So like, guys, if you are in community and you don't have like an organization that you're with, I would suggest like investing in that if you need help with the revision. I really needed them, so their slides were really amazing too. So they condensed everything, they made their own slides, so I was using their slides and I was using Farm Educate slides, which was great. And then you also said your uni was doing courses, so my uni was also doing courses too. I think they stopped doing that now because I don't understand why nobody showed up to it. And I know that Kingston is really, really far, but honestly, it was really good. Like, I tried to take every opportunity, every freebie I got, I needed, and I took them with open arms. So my uni, they also invested in Pro Pharmacists, and they also invested in Green Light. So they also had like double sessions. So I was having like 2 sessions of Pro Pharmacists every month. And I was having another session with Green Light every month as well. So that was really great. And I noticed that some stuff from the Pro Pharmacists, like, so it was like a bespoke kind of course that they were doing with my uni in collaboration with them. And I think the same thing was with Green Light as well. So it's some things that I found in my normal Pro Pharma session days were different to some things that were being taught in my Kingston Pro Pharma session days. Out of the 2, which one would I say that I preferred, Green Light or Pro Pharmacist? It would be Pro Pharmacist, definitely. I think Green Light, they were really good with their math side. Clinical was a bit lacking, whereas Pro Pharmacist, they were good with their math side still, but clinical was excellent, and that is the majority of your exam, your clinical knowledge, and that was where I was suffering. Whereas with maths, I feel like you can do your own revision with that one. It's not too hard to revise that, you know. So yeah, I think clinical is where I needed all the help that I could possibly get. So yeah.
I think another resource I would recommend is RPS On Track. Especially they have like a 30-day free trial, I think. And the questions are quite similar in style to the GPHC questions. And the maths questions are quite good as well, so I recommend that. And just with the maths, not maths papers, just mock papers, don't start too early. It will actually demotivate you. Especially if you know that you have more, like, in terms of revision, you have more to go. Why would you start papers and then just you see yourself getting 0 or 10 and demoralize yourself? Don't do that to yourself. Like, have like at least a good amount of revision. I'm not saying everything, but I think have a good amount done before you start doing the papers, because then you'll actually get more out of it. There's no point like doing something that you know majority you don't know, and then you're gonna get all of it wrong and berate yourself. It just doesn't. it's not good. So I say don't start it too early.
But I think at the same time, past papers for me was like a way to find out what I needed to learn.
Yeah.
Like, because I would see a question and I'd be like, oh my God, do I need to do
this?
this? Oh my God. So I would add that to my list. So I think do look at past papers and stuff with a tentative gaze. Like, don't go too fully into it and start making yourself panic. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I don't know this and it's already like March.
Yeah.
Like, go into it with an open mindset. Think, oh, this will help me to find out where my gaps are in knowledge and what I need to be revising, because like, I feel like everyone knows more than they think they know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So just believe, you have to believe that, you know, well and truly. So, you know, I think always a must is like any type of mock exam that you can get your hands on. They were everywhere. I think the GPHC released their own ones as well on the computer.
Yeah, the mock. Yeah. So
yeah, make sure you practice your computer skills as well with that, because it's a completely different ball game from doing things on paper, which I would have preferred.
Apart from that, the last thing I would say is you might do so terrible on one mock paper and then do so well on the other.
Oh, it's always fluctuating, guys.
Literally. So don't think that I failed the exam because you flopped one.
Yeah, literally. I would find that I was, like, with maths, like, I wasn't too worried about it, but I would find that I was passing some and failing others. I'm like, oh my God, am I that bad at maths? I don't think so.
You make sure you look at those decimal points. Even if it's 0.0, they'll literally fail you if you don't do the correct decimal point.
Yeah. So. And I think, like we said, guys, you can't revise for everything, because there will be those few wild card questions that you've never seen in your life. And you don't know how to work it out, because we had one of those and I think it was the same for everyone. So if you are in the exam and you're thinking, damn, what is this question? I've never come across it. I don't know how to tackle it. Chances are everyone else around the country is feeling the same way. And so, like, don't beat yourself up about it. Like, don't feel like you need to know everything. Like, I think just know what you know and know it well, you know. Be confident in what you know. You know more than you think you know. I'm saying no a lot, but yeah, I
think that's it for the video, guys. Like I said, any more questions, comment below, and just look out for our next video. See you later. Bye. Hope we didn't scare you as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.